and welcome to Algebra II with Mr. Clausen. Today I want to talk with you about two variable inequalities. And specifically, we're going to look at how to graph two variable inequalities and look at specific skills and techniques such as tracing boundary lines of inequalities, determining the type of line to use, and then we'll also look at how to check your possible solutions using a test point. And then we'll finish off by talking about graphing two variable absolute value inequalities. So with that said, let's get started here with these examples. So one thing I want to point out is that whenever we're looking at two variable inequalities, the first thing that I typically like to do when I'm trying to graph something like this is to set it up just like a normal equation, just temporarily. So take something like y is less than 3. So just temporarily think y equals 3. All right, and then when we're looking at this and we're trying to look at this idea here, we're just trying to go on our coordinate grid here and just say, all right, if y equals 3, we have a horizontal line because there is no slope, and we have this specific situation where y equals 3. Now, once we get to this point, we're just doing this to create a boundary line. And creating this boundary line sets a idea of how we can get started and go through with this. Because now if we go and we go back to our original inequality that we're looking at here, what we can do in order to figure out which side of this boundary line that we need to graph is we just need to test a point. Now, typically I like to use 0, 0 as a test point. And I will exclusively use this in examples unless my boundary line crosses point 0, 0. It crosses through the origin of my given example. And again, the reason I would do this is that if I plug 0, 0 as a test point, and I plug 0 in for y, and I look at this inequality, I would see that this is true. And if I plug 0, 0 as a test point, and I see that it works with the inequality that I'm looking at here, that means that 0, 0 is on the side of the inequality that is a solution. And so if you have one point here and it's a solution, that means every point on this side of the inequality line is a solution. So with that said, let's look at another example. So let's say I have 2y is less than or equal to 4x minus 6. Now in this given instance, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to temporarily assume 2y is equal to 4x minus 6. Just for this specific situation here. So if we go divide both sides by 2, we would get y is equal to 2x minus 3. And again, the reason I would do this is that if I can go and I can create this new equation, I'm not even worried about whether I'm dividing by a negative number or anything like that. Just don't really care at this point. Because if I have the linear y equals mx plus b equation, I know that negative 3 is an intercept, and then I have a rise of 2 for every one run. And I can just go and I can graph this point. Okay, so I can go and I can trace out this line here. And actually, since it's a greater than or equal to type inequality, I can draw myself a solid line, right? So you maybe noticed that on my previous example that I did a dashed line. That was because I had a less than type inequality. And on this one, since I have a equal to inequality, I'm going to draw myself a solid line. So I just make myself some points and I draw myself a solid line here. And so I have this line, I'm drawing this inequality out. And now the reason I didn't care about whether the inequality flipped or anything like that is sometimes it's hard to think about what part of the line is a solution in a given situation like this. So I think it's easier just to think about it as an equation, get your boundary line drawn. Because if you can get your boundary line figured out, then you can think about again, that test point method that we talked about earlier. I can see that 0, 0 is a test point that I can take advantage of. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0. And if I plug 0, 0 as a test point, I'll quickly see that 2 times 0 is less than or equal to 4 times 0 minus 6 will equal 0, less than or equal to 0 minus 6. So 0 is less than or equal to negative 6. I see that this is not true, that this is false. So what that means is that this side of the boundary line is not a solution, and so I would shade everything on the other side of that test point. No other test point needed. You just need to check it and see whether it is true or false. And if it's true, shade everything on that side of the test point. If it's false, shade everything on the other side of that test point. So let's look at graphing two variable absolute value inequality. So if we have a situation where we have y minus 7 is less than the absolute value of x plus 2, I'm going to do the same thing that I just did in the previous examples. So I'm going to say, temporarily assume y minus 7 equals x plus 2, add 7 to both sides, write y is equal to x plus 2 in absolute value bars, plus 7. Okay, and now the reason I'm doing this is now I have this as a general absolute value equation. If we talked about previously, you know, we have this specific circumstance here, and I know that h comma k is my vertex. I see that h is equal to negative 2 and that k is equal to 7. There's nothing fancy happening with the slope. There's no a term I really have to worry about here. So my rise over run is just 1 to 1. So I go negative 2 comma 7, 5, 6, 7. So I have this point here. And now I can just graph it like I would a normal absolute value equation. And just go 1 to 1 going this way and 1 to 1 going that way. Okay, and if this looks relatively simple, that's good because I want it to be relatively simple. And if I have a situation where I draw the boundary lines, oh, I see it's not a equal to type inequality. So I'm just going to go back. And I'm just going to clean up these lines a little bit. I'll leave the arrows there. You can just go back and always change that if you're using a pencil and then draw that in. All right, and so we can see that we have this dash boundary line, and all the dash boundary line means is that you don't include the points that are actually on the physical line. And so now we have this all drawn out, and we weren't worrying about the inequality because it's more important to get this boundary line figured out. So once we figure out the boundary line, we can go and plug in a test point like 0, 0. And as you're seeing here, I'm always going to try out this test point because I like really easy to use test points. You know, anything times 0 is 0, so it just makes it super simple. And so if we go 0 minus 7 is less than 0 plus 2, I will see that negative 7 is less than 2. This is true, so that means that all of the solutions here are going to work out just fine in this given circumstance. So I would shade everything underneath this boundary line, and that would represent all of my solutions for this two variable absolute value inequality. Let's look at one other example where, again, we can apply the same idea. Again, temporarily think that you have y plus 3 is equal to 3x absolute value minus 1. And we go and we just move things around a little bit. We go y is equal to the absolute value of 3x minus, this is a 3. This is also a 3, so this would be negative 4. And again, this gives us an idea that the y-intercept, h is equal to 0, k is equal to negative 4. So that's an intercept there. But the slope of your line, something we haven't talked about yet, is always going to be equal to the a value times the m value. So this is a slope just like it would be for a y equals mx plus b equation. And we can see that the slope is going to equal 3 in this case because it's 1 times 3. And so again, we can take the same idea. I can start tracing some dots here and drawing my boundary line. I see it's just a less than type inequality, so I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself and draw a solid line by accident and just draw these out. And now that I have my boundary line, I do the same thing that I've been doing before, and I test 0, 0. And again, I would always use this as my test point unless like the vertex or the line goes over 0, 0 and it's going to be undefined. So for example, it's going to be equal to this, and that's not a solution that's going to help us. So if we test this point here and we say 0 plus 3 is less than 3 times 0 minus 1, that'll give us 3 is less than 3 minus 1, and that's going to say that 3 is less than 2, and we know that that is false. So that means that everything outside of the V is a solution. And again, you could test it just for kicks and giggles and see that anything outside of here is a solution, but you will always find that if you just test that one point, as long as it's a point that is distinctly not on the line, that it's going to work out and that you're going to get the solution that you're looking for. So with that said, I hope that you found this video helpful and it gave you an idea of how to graph two variable inequalities and absolute value inequalities. And with that said, I'm going to let you go and let's do some math.